Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm doing another interview. My guest today is an actor. They've appeared in shows such as Waterloo Road, and today they're going to come on and tell us more about themselves and their career. So today Adiza will be joining me.
My name is Adiza SHARDOW. I'm an actress and writer, and I'm most famously known for playing Liberty Garden in Waterloo Road.
Thank you so much for coming. So today we're going to be talking about your acting career. And my first question is, when did you first get into acting?
When I was 14, actually, in high school, I done a play called The Crucible. I don't know if you still do that in high school now, because I'm pretty old. But yeah, my drama teacher took me aside and she asked me, Adiza, is this something you want to do for the rest of your life? In a kind of weird, encouraging way. It was such a weird question to ask a 14-year-old. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you've got something. I can see it in you. And from that moment on, I never thought of anything else. So that was from an old drama school teacher who just kind of saw something in me. I don't know what it was, but that really encouraged me to kind of pursue it from that age.
Oh, fantastic. That's such a lovely story. And once you had that conversation, did you kind of get an agent and things and get involved in different productions, or was that later on?
So lucky enough, I had drama in my high school as a curriculum, so I took that as a hire. And then it wasn't as easy as just kind of getting an agent. I went on to audition for drama school afterwards. 16 was the first age I tried and I did not get in. Drama school was very prestigious. Back in the day, it still is, I'm sure, to some people. But I was more into Mean Girls and kind of bubbly stuff, which I still stand by and think are great classics. But I remember going into the room and them asking what Shakespeare I had. And I actually didn't have a Shakespeare because I was so green. So of course I never got in my first time, but I went to a college course in Scotland. It's called a Higher National Diploma. I'm not sure what you call it in England, but it's kind of like a step down from a degree. So I'd done a year doing that, which I think really trained me up to prepare me for what was expected in a drama school audition. And then after that, my second chance, I got in. And then I studied for 3 years, and it was kind of the old school route where you get a showcase at the end of your drama school, 3 years, and then agents come and they kind of sign you up on the go.
That's really cool. Thank you for sharing your journey, and it sounds incredible. So you mentioned earlier on one big moment in your career was Waterloo Road. So what was it like auditioning for that show?
Wow, it was a really beautiful experience because the casting director, Michelle Smith, is so chilled in the room, because you meet a lot of different types of casting directors, some that are quite, formal, but she was definitely very friendly and relaxed to me. And I just remember thinking, wow, I'm never going to get this. I'm too old, because I don't know if I was a bit older than the other guys in the show. I think I was 24 when I got the part. And I just remember being in the room with actual school kids and their mums. So for me, it didn't feel like, it was going to happen, but I thought just go for it and have fun.
Yeah, that's super cool. And did you know anybody at the audition?
One of the guys I did know auditioned for it, but he didn't get it. My friend Scott Fletcher, who's now in a really big kind of Scottish show called River City, and he's been on it for years, but he was always getting lots of stuff and he's fantastic. So when I heard he was auditioning, so we've got the same agent, or we had at that time, I remember seeing him at the audition and he was like, God, that was really, tough. And I was like, oh, really? Or not tough, he just didn't think it went well, or for whatever reason. So I remember going in with that energy. But yeah, so that was the only person I know. I didn't know anybody else.
Yeah, that's super cool, and the audition sounds like it was just kind of a overall fun experience. So do you have any advice to people who want to get into acting?
I would say you don't have to go to drama school. I know a lot of young people get told that. I'm a big believer in, if you can get into any kind of training, whether it be like a youth club or even just getting your friends. Everyone's so creative nowadays with TikTok and stuff. Just keep practicing and work really hard. And I would say also have a backup. Not a backup forever, but just something you can do in your resting time, because a lot of people don't understand how much resting time us actors actually have.
Yeah, definitely. That's some great advice, and thank you so much for sharing it. And I definitely agree. I think people can take something from that and hopefully feel inspired by it. So my next question is, what was it like playing Shelley Belmont in the TV series River City?
Oh, wow. I mean, it kind of felt like completely different. That was my return to screen because, I had a few years out. just, you know, kind of traveling and living my life and for whatever reason. So that was kind of my return to TV for a long time. And to go from playing like a schoolgirl Liberty, I felt like this was me growing up, and it was the first kind of feisty role I really got to enjoy. It was incredible, yeah, just so much fun. You know, River City is such a big show from where I'm from, and I had auditioned previously and never got it, so this was like, you know, one of those things to tick the box of what to do on Scottish TV. So it was, yeah, a great experience.
Yeah, it does sound like a great experience. So have you always wanted to be an actor?
Yeah, as I said, as long as I've known since 14, you know, once my teacher kind of gave me that encouragement, I just kind of, I couldn't see me doing anything else. It was kind of, you know, that's all I've ever wanted to do. When people ask, well, what would you do if you don't make it? Part of me is like, well, you know, there's no other choice. But it's just kind of like, it's an ongoing, it's a marathon. That's the biggest thing in acting. And I think from a young age, I learned that very quickly, that it's not so easy, but I just enjoy it so much that I couldn't think about doing anything else.
Oh, that's fantastic, and it's always lovely to hear like that people love it. And I also think it's great that you've always wanted to do it, because you've always had that goal, and it's great. So in 2020, you appeared in the TV miniseries #Sketchpack. What was that like?
That was that was a brand new experience for me. So funny enough, some of the sketches had come out later, but we started filming some of them way back in 2016, which was one of the first written sketches I've ever done, which has kind of led me on my journey as a writer. I met one of the leaders, J. Oliver Yip, in a kind of day job that we done, kind of events, working at festivals, and he was like, oh, I'm an actor too, and we both had really similar kind of humour, and very quickly, you know, he was like, you need to come and join this kind of pack that I've got. And they taught me so much about writing and comedy timing and filming behind the scenes. So yeah, it was just great to be part of kind of like a nice, fun collective.
Yeah, that does sound super fun, and it's great you got to experience it. So I know you were mentioning earlier about the conversation you had with your teacher, but did anybody inspire you to get into acting?
Oh yeah, so many. I think like my biggest inspiration was always Viola Davis, watching her growing up. And of course all the soap stars, I have to say, and some that I've gotten to work with. Zoe Lucker, I remember being one of my favourites from Footballers' Wives. I just enjoyed these kind of overly dramatic characters she got to play, and when she got into Bad Girls as well. So when I got to actually meet her on the show when I was on Waterloo Road, it was just one of those surreal experiences, you know, because these women paved the way, and they're just incredibly talented.
Yeah, that's lovely, and I always love hearing when people kind of meet people they look up to. Did it kind of feel like a surreal moment when you met her?
It really did. The car came to pick me up at the hotel, because, you know, they'd usually put you up the night before filming, and she was in the car, and I opened the door, and she just went like, hello, darling, and she kind of looked me in the eye, and I was like, it's Tanya Turner, and I just tried not to freak out. But, you know, I just said to her in a very genuine way, listen, I have been a fan of yours for years, and she was so sweet and nothing like her characters that I've seen her play, so it was just really beautiful to kind of meet the person behind it.
Yeah, that's incredible, and it's amazing that you got to meet her. So earlier on we were talking about the Waterloo Road audition, but what was it like actually being on set, meeting the cast, and being in front of the camera?
Oh, it's funny because I'm quite good friends with Marlene still, who played Lula, and me and her kind of talk about this. She was the first I met, and I just remember how incredibly warm she was, but how different we thought we were when we met each other up until now. I think me and her both says we were both starstruck when we met Katie, who then became really good friends with Katie McGlynn. I just remember calling her Scout for like a long time. Also, I called other people their character names because I'd been watching the show before. So it was just such a surreal experience when you see them moving in front of you, and then you're putting on the same kind of uniform and you're part of it. It was an incredible, I can't explain it. It's just such a beautiful, privileged kind of experience to have as an actor that you could always ask for.
Yeah, it does sound like a surreal experience. And did you have a best moment on set, if you could pick?
Oh, there's so many. There's a lot of funny moments, but all of it was like the best moments, just being there every day. But I think, that's a really good question. I definitely think one of my best moments was having a heart-to-heart with Mel Hill, who played Grantley's, yeah, you know, everybody knows Melanie Hill. And it was just really beautiful and genuine, like the conversations we would have and the encouragement she would give me. And Georgie Glenn as well. I'd done all my first scenes with her. because she was the character Liberty's teacher in her previous school. And it was just like really beautiful to have these lovely mentored women in your life. So they were kind of my favourite moments with I say the adults because I was an adult then, but I was playing a kid. It was really nice to get those one-on-ones with them just over a cup of tea before we'd go on set.
Yeah, these are such lovely stories, and thank you so much for sharing them. It just sounds like the cast was really close and that you were able to have those conversations, which is really cool.
Yeah, I think it's important, you know, because I think they saw us as a new cast, so they kind of took us under their wing and just kind of kept us supported and gave us the encouragement.
Yeah, definitely, and it's great that they did that. So I have a couple more questions for you. My next one is, what has been the best moment in your career so far, if you can pick? I know it's hard.
Oh, wow. I think best moment, well, definitely when I got to work with, oh my God, how have I forgot his name? He played Trevor in EastEnders, Alec, the great, oh my God, this is terrible. I'm so mesmerised by him that I forgot his name. He played Trevor in EastEnders, and he was in Chernobyl recently, but I got to do a scene with him. He's playing kind of a bad guy in River City. It's not Alec. Oh my God. What is his... Do you know his name at all?
I don't watch EastEnders, so I don't know what it's called.
Oh, I feel really bad for... He's... Well, if you look him up, Trevor from EastEnders, and his name is Alex. I wish I knew his second name, because he was only on it for a small stint when I was with him. But when I got to do the scene with him, for me, that was like a big moment, and I was very, like, you know... proud. Another proud moment was being part of a really cool CBBC show called Last Commanders, and we won a BAFTA of Scotland in 2019. So that was quite a nice moment to be part of something, you know, that's recognised with an award.
Yeah, definitely, and it's great that also about that award. That's great, and yeah, we'll Google the person's name after this, and I can.
Alex Ferns, that's it. Sorry, it just came. Do you know what it is? It's because I worked with so many Alex, like Alec Newman, Alex Norton on Waterloo Road. So there's so many great Alexes that his name just totally slipped my head.
Well, we got there in the end. Yeah, well done on remembering his name. So I have one final question for you. This is always my favourite to round up the interview. And it is, do you have any behind-the-scenes stories from Waterloo Road that you can remember?
Oh, there's quite a lot. I think the most embarrassing moment for me was when I first met Alec Norton, who I know his name, of course. He played Liberty's head teacher from the previous school, the very angry Scottish guy. And he came up to me and was kind of like, do you want to go for your lines? My name's Alec, I'm playing opposite you. I was like, oh yeah, great, this will be fun. And then I walked outside to meet him and he just stared at me in the eye and he was like, where have you been? I went, oh, sorry, I was just in the makeup room because, you know, I was like, no, that was him starting the script. Like, he was starting the script. I thought he was being serious. So it was just like one of those awkward moments where I just didn't know what to kind of make of it.
That's such a cool story. Thank you for sharing it. Yeah, that is quite funny. Did you feel a bit embarrassed?
Oh, yeah, lots of times. I know. Also, yeah, there was just like, there's so many moments. There was lots of times like me and Shane would always be toy fighting or... you know, like silly moments. I won't name who, but when a cast member decided to pass wind during a take and none of us could hold our giggles in for for a lot of takes. I'll let you try and guess what one, but they would kill me if I told you. But yeah, there was a lot of moments like that. Because when you watch these programmes, what you have to understand is before the camera goes, you've got a bunch of, you know, adults/teenagers just all hanging around having a laugh, having banter, and then we have to get to work. So there's, you know, what I realised about being on a show like that is 90% of it is having fun and then 10% is like, right, come on, we need to get to work.
Yeah, definitely. It's always great like that you can have fun and like work at the same time, so that's great. So we have came to the end of the interview now and it's been great finding out more about yourself and your career, so thank you so much.
Oh no, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
And also thank you to everybody who's watched this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I'll see you next week for another one. Bye guys!